Hi everyone, I'm Brianna. My family runs a seafood processing factory in Vietnam. In international business, when the massive operational costs soar, most procurement teams default to passive stance. They get stuck trying to squeeze a manufacturer on price. But if you maintain an internal focus, you quickly realize that the raw material price isn't the only thing driving profit. What we can actually control and optimize is how we structure the product right from the strategic input phase. Now, many people assume that value added items like a breaded panko shrimp only sell well in specific regional pockets. But the operational reality at our factory tells a completely different story at any given moment. Our production lines could be running containers of Vietnamese torpedo shrimp bound for the port of Rotterdam in Europe. Ultimately, these two markets have entirely distinct consumer preferences, but the common denominator is that both Asia and European buyers are using exactly the product line as a secret weapon to drive up their profit margins significantly. Working closely with our long-term partners, I've noticed a fascinating strategic split in the market mindset. You see, Japanese buyers eat with their eyes. Their aesthetic standards are incredibly demanding. A single ebi fry or torpedo shrimp bound for Japan must be perfectly straight, and the white panko coating has to be immaculate without a single missing flake. On top of that, the tail requires a specialized blanching technique in boiling water so that when it's frozen and eventually deep fried, it fans out in a striking, vibrant pinkish red. They are more than willing to pay a premium for large size categories like a 4L, but in return, their QA teams will scrutinize every minor cosmetic flaw. They purchase this to fit a supermarket, bento process, or traditional restaurant where absolute perfection is mandatory. On the flip side, the European buyers play a purely practical game. They source these Japanese-style items to pour directly into the food service sector. Think of fusion restaurant chains, tapas bars, pubs, or catering companies. European buyers are not overly upset with the absolute straightness of the shrimp, but they absolutely love the convenience and the speed. For them, it's the ultimate finger food. You literally grab it straight from the freezer, drop it into the deep fryer for exactly 3 minutes, and it's ready to plate. So why are these two highly sophisticated buyer groups so deeply upset to greater product structure consisting of 40% shrimp and 60% coating? The secret lies in the brilliant commercial mindset. They sell by the blade, not by the kilo. Think about it. Flour and panko breadcrumbs are exponentially cheaper than raw shrimp meat. When a factory ships a shrimp with a 60% heavy breaded coat, the buyer is essentially purchasing a high volume, visually impressive product, while the actual food cost of the shrimp remains incredibly low. When a restaurant chain in Paris, London, or Tokyo puts this on the menu, they price it per portion. A three-piece shrimp platter costs them just a few dozen cents in raw input, but on the menu, they can easily command anywhere from 8 to 12 euros. Just like that, their kitchen's gross margin shoots through the roof. Furthermore, they are effectively offloading the heavy burden of expensive local labor straight onto our factory floor in Vietnam. To create a perfectly straight torpedo shrimp, our workers have to carefully score the belly, manually slap the tendons, straighten it out, and then run it through 3 separate layers of coating. Usually because in the US or Europe right now are notoriously high, ranging from 15 to $25 an hour. Frankly, it's a massive waste of resources to pay a local chef to grab individual shrimp by hand by importing pre-arranged tray-packed finished goods from us. Their kitchen staff only has to do one single thing: open the bag and throw it into an automatic fryer. Zero time wasted, zero culinary skill required. The final piece of the puzzle that top-tier buyers look at is risk mitigation. If a restaurant buys raw shrimp and handles the processing in-house, they absorb 100% of the due risk. Think about it. Workers damaging the meat during the peeling, shrimp shrinking during thawing, or broken tails that have to be thrown away. Every single bit of that waste cuts directly into the restaurant bottom line. However, by moving to calibrated value-added tray packs, they completely eliminate this operational risk. A massive carton contains exactly 200 shrimp, which translates perfectly to 50 standardized servings. Zero waste, zero guessing. They get total control over the cash flow and precise portion costs for every single plate served. And at the end of the day, a long-term sustainable commercial partnership isn't built on one side taking on the heat. Our factory in Vietnam takes full ownership of our inputs, ensuring seamlessly synchronized floor data, ironclad IT biotic, and microbiological controls, and meticulously backing to meet exact specifications. And when international procurement leaders truly understand this operational blueprint, they move past exhausting price wars and instead collaborate to optimize the entire value chain for genuine profitability. Thank you for tuning in today, and I will see you in the next one.